Hi, my name is Jonathan Appell, and I'm here right in front of the Knight's tomb, which was just placed back in the historic church at Jamestown, Virginia. So it was a very tight fit to bring it back into the church. It was a very actually ingenious and fortunate way that it was taken out of the church, because there was a utility trailer, pretty historic in its own right, that Jamestown at some point took on and owned for probably many decades, and it was slightly upgraded with a new plywood deck. And fortunately, it just fit between the opening to get into the church. And so when we removed the pieces of the tomb, actually, we first put it onto this trailer, utility trailer really, and then it was actually conserved right on the trailer. And then after that was completed, it was actually brought out of the church on the trailer and put on display for the public to see. Well, bringing it back into the church represented yet another issue, because since then the church tower has been excavated and there is currently archaeology in progress there. And so a temporary ramp had to be constructed over sandbags to allow it to come through that opening of the tower to make it into the church, just squeaking through and slightly scratching the doors that are actually being taken out anyway, because there's new doors were handmade to fit in now, and as part of the restoration effort. And anyhow, then the next step was getting it off the trailer, and that was a process of getting it off of shims up onto blocks, then thicker blocks, and then eventually 4x4 rails, basically like two train tracks, underslung girders in essence, and then creating a cradle that was lifted from underneath with slings. I was very concerned about possibly redamaging the tomb, because it was in many pieces before we reconstructed it. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then a large piece. Almost 10 pieces. And no matter how good a repair you do, those areas that are joined are still repairs. So we didn't want to stress those areas. So I came up with an idea to place it on ice and then melt the ice and lower it into this cavity, because the problem was created by the fact that it was very narrow and it's underground. So it's an unusual situation. I've worked on many, many tombs, but never one set into stainless steel and with such a narrow perimeter. So we used the ice in order to lower it down without ever stressing it. And it worked flawlessly. It took 30 bags of ice. About 30 hours, it seems, to completely melt. And then we got it all aligned, and then I needed to do a little bit of shimming and leveling. And then the final step in the process was to set these bricks that match the floor of the reconstructed floor. And there's still going to be just some final cleaning and like a wax to protect it. A special protective coating will be put on it. And basically the entire project is done, other than the glass, which is not my responsibility. So I'm happy to see it back. It's been a long process and a very rewarding one, and I think it'll be here for a long, long time.